The vision of the four beasts experienced by the prophet Daniel is a fascinating and complex narrative that immerses us in a universe where divinity and the fate of humanity are enigmatically intertwined. Located at the heart of the book of Daniel, this account is not only a central piece of prophetic literature but also a testimony to the belief in a God who sovereignly governs over the kingdoms of men. This vision, detailed in chapter 7 of the book of Daniel, transports us to a world where future events are revealed with astounding precision, emphasizing the belief in an omniscient God who has absolute control over the course of human history. Daniel, a prophet who lived in Babylon during a period of exile, received this revelation at a crucial moment in his life. It was not the first time Daniel found himself interpreting dreams and visions, but this occasion was different. An angel was sent to help him understand his own visions, marking a significant change in his spiritual trajectory. In the first year of the reign of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions in his head while on his bed. After the dream, he wrote down the account, highlighting the most important points of this supernatural experience. The biblical passage narrates the following: In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head while on his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spoke and said, I saw in my vision by night, and, behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. And four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And behold another beast, a second, like to a bear, it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Daniel 7, 1-8. The first beast, similar to a lion with eagle's wings, symbolizes a powerful and dominant nation that is eventually stripped of its power and transformed. The second, resembling a bear, represents another nation, noted for its ferocity and insatiable appetite, as indicated by the command to devour much flesh. The third beast, similar to a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, suggests speed, agility, and expansive dominion. Finally, the 4th beast, described as dreadful, terrible, and exceptionally strong with great iron teeth and 10 horns, symbolizes a kingdom or empire unprecedented in its power and destructive capacity. An interesting detail is the emergence of a little horn among the 10, which had eyes like those of a man and a mouth that uttered great things, possibly indicating a particular figure of great influence and authority. This dream and its interpretations open a wide spectrum of analysis and reflections on divine sovereignty, the nature of human power, and the inexorable flow of history. Through these symbols and metaphors, Daniel's account offers a window into understanding how world events, though sometimes enigmatic and disturbing, are framed within a larger divine plan. Each beast, with its particular characteristics, not only represents a specific earthly kingdom but also reflects aspects of human nature and the exercise of power. The narrative highlights the transience of human realms and the permanence of the divine kingdom, underscoring the idea that despite appearances, it is God who holds ultimate control over humanity's fate. By exploring this vision, we dive into a dialogue between the earthly and the divine, between the course of human history and the eternal design. Daniel's vision invites us to reflect on our own era and how the lessons from these ancient prophecies can resonate in the present. It reminds us of the importance of seeking a deeper understanding of the events that surround us, not only as political or social phenomena but also as parts of a larger tapestry, woven by a divine purpose that transcends time and space. The vision of the four beasts experienced by the prophet Daniel is one of the most symbolic and prophetic narratives in the biblical realm, revealing a succession of empires that would rule the world until the second coming of Jesus Christ. This vision, recorded in the first year of the reign of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, presents a fascinating panorama of world history from a divine perspective. Belshazzar, the grandson of the famous King Nebuchadnezzar, ruled at a time when the Neo-Babylonian Empire still maintained its hegemony. However, Daniel's vision underscores a key message: human dominion is fleeting, and only God's kingdom is eternal. The account begins with a description of the four winds of heaven stirring up the Great Sea, from which emerge four great beasts, each different from the other. These winds, as interpreted in Jeremiah 49:36, symbolize conflicts, wars, and struggles. I will bring upon Elam the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation whither the outcasts of Elam shall not come. This reinforces the idea that the winds represent wars and tribulations. Likewise, in Revelation 17:15, the waters are interpreted as peoples and nations, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples, and multitudes, and nations, and tongues. Therefore, Daniel's vision can be seen as winds of conflict arising among nations, giving way to the emergence of four dominant empires. The first beast, described as a lion with eagle's wings, symbolizes the Neo-Babylonian Empire. This beast combines the strength of the lion, often considered the king of the jungle, with the speed and height of the eagle, the dominant bird in the skies. This combination reflects the might and agility of the empire. At the Ishtar Gate of Babylon, representations of winged lions can be found, corroborating this symbolism. The account of the lion's wings being plucked and it being raised up on its feet like a man is interpreted as a reference to the period of madness of Nebuchadnezzar, narrated in Daniel 4. Nebuchadnezzar, who enlarged the empire to its peak, had to humble himself before God, recognizing his sovereignty. However, after his death, the Neo-Babylonian Empire declined, ultimately falling under the control of the Medo-Persians. The second beast, resembling a bear, represents the Medo-Persian Empire. This empire emerged in 550 BC when Cyrus, king of Persia, defeated the Medes. However, this victory did not mean the destruction of the Medes, but the formation of a dualistic kingdom. The bear rising up on one side more than the other symbolizes the duality between Medes and Persians, with the latter being more dominant. The three ribs in the bear's mouth represent the three kingdoms conquered by the Medo-Persian Empire: Lydia, Egypt, and Babylon. These accounts and symbols reflect not only the succession of empires in human history but also the idea that despite earthly power and glory, all human kingdoms are temporal and subject to divine sovereignty. Daniel's vision reminds us that ultimately, it is God's kingdom that will endure eternally. In 539 BC, a crucial moment in human history unfolded: the invasion of Babylon by King Cyrus of Persia. At that time, the Babylonian kingdom was ruled by Nabonidus, but he was absent, leaving his son Belshazzar as regent prince. This change in leadership was significant as it was Belshazzar who faced the invasion of the Medo-Persians. The fall of the Neo-Babylonian Empire into the hands of the Medo-Persians is documented in the Bible, specifically in the book of Daniel chapter 5, verse 30. During the reign of Cyrus, Daniel, the prophet, was promoted to a high-ranking position, becoming governor of one of the provinces of the Medo-Persian Empire. This political change also brought freedom to the Jews, who had been taken to Babylon in captivity. They were allowed to return to their land and were authorized to rebuild the Temple of Jerusalem. The Medo-Persian Empire, which took control after the fall of Babylon, continued its dominance for approximately 220 years, until it finally fell to Alexander the Great, king of Greece, in 330 BC. The third beast in Daniel's vision is described as a leopard with 4 bird wings on its back and 4 heads. This beast represents the Greek Empire under the reign of Alexander the Great. The leopard, known for its speed, symbolizes the swiftness with which Alexander conquered territories. The 4 wings on its back could represent even greater speed and reach in his conquests. Alexander the Great, who ascended to the throne at the age of 20, embarked on a series of campaigns that led to the fall of the Persian Empire and the expansion of his kingdom from Greece to northern India. However, after his premature death at the age of 32, his empire was divided among his 4 generals. Ptolemy took Egypt, Cassander, Macedonia and Greece, Seleucus, Syria and Babylon, and Lysimachus, Thrace. Of these 4 dynasties, the Ptolemaic in Egypt was the most enduring, until the death of Cleopatra in 30 BC. The 4th beast seen by Daniel is described as dreadful, terrible, exceptionally strong, with great iron teeth and 10 horns. This beast represents the Roman Empire. Daniel could not compare this beast to any known animal, highlighting its unique and formidable nature. The Roman Empire was known for its strength, organization, and unfortunately also for its cruelty and arrogance. During its dominion, many Christians were persecuted and martyred. The empire began its imperial phase in 27 BC and extended over a vast territory. However, due to its size and internal problems, the empire was divided into 2, the West, which fell in AD 476, and the East, which lasted until AD 1453. These historical events reflected in Daniel's vision not only represent a sequence of world empires but also symbolize the constant change and transience of human power, in contrast to the eternity and immutable sovereignty of God. Human history, viewed through this prophetic lens, is a narrative of the rise and fall of empires, reminding us that despite the magnitude of these earthly kingdoms, all eventually yield to a superior and eternal power. In contemporary interpretations of biblical prophecies, the idea is addressed that the religious power that persists from the times of the Roman Empire will eventually transform into a political power in the end times. According to this interpretation, 10 nations, which at some point were part of the Roman Empire, will unite, marking the resurgence of a new Roman Empire with a political focus. This idea is based on the symbolism of the beast with 10 horns mentioned in the biblical account. Within this narrative, the emergence of a little horn among the 10 horns is interpreted as the appearance of the Antichrist. This character is seen as a political leader who will arise from among the 10 nations that once formed part of the Roman Empire. The prophecy suggests that 3 of these nations will oppose the Antichrist's world government, prompting this leader to wage wars against them and ultimately conquer them. The government of the Antichrist, according to this interpretation, will last 7 years, a period known as the Great Tribulation. The first half of this period, that is, 3.5 years, will be characterized by apparent peace and stability. However, in the second half, the Antichrist will reveal his true nature and seek to be worshipped as a god. In Daniel 7:25, this situation is described, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time." This passage is interpreted as a reference to the 3.5 years of the Antichrist's tyranny. Similarly, in Revelation 13:5, it is mentioned, "And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months, This reinforces the idea that the Antichrist will speak against God and exercise his power for a specific period. However, these interpretations conclude with the final victory of Jesus Christ over the Antichrist in his second coming. It is believed that the Antichrist will be defeated and thrown into the lake of fire, marking the end of human reign on earth. At this time, Jesus Christ will establish his eternal kingdom. In Daniel 7:13-14, this scene is described. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion, and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. This passage is interpreted as the establishment of Christ's kingdom, a realm of justice and peace that will last forever. It is important to remember that these interpretations are one of the many ways different groups and denominations within Christianity understand and explain biblical prophecies. Each interpretation reflects different theological and eschatological perspectives within Christianity. And so we come to the end of this presentation. Thank you for being part of our channel, a space where we seek to share wisdom and reflections on faith. I send you a warm greeting and a big hug. Until next time, and may God bless you.